All right, good morning. All right. It is a good morning. There we go. We have just getting everything set up here. Getting a couple sips of coffee in. Oh, yeah. All right, so it's exciting. We left off yesterday. We were having a little struggle trying to remember how to get connected back up to the emulator from when I did this in the past. And now I got it working. So you can see here, I've got a little loop going and it's giving the player's XY coordinate. And when I move the player now, it'll take, I think I've got it on a 5-second delay. There it goes. So I can move the player around and now we get the XY coordinates from the player. So that means we're getting socket connection and we are able to start reading memory, because the way I'm getting this, let me show you. I'm going to go ahead and break this so it's not sitting there running forever. So here's how this works. If I go all the way to the bottom of this code, this is the Python server that connects to the Lua. By the way, here's the Lua controller. So when I move, the Python every 5 seconds looks at the memory inside the emulator and is able to get the value at the memory location. That's able to get us the XY coordinates, because some extremely kind person, I think in who knows when, created a ROM map of Final Fantasy and was able to give us, they did the research and figured out where various variables are stored in the memory while the game is being played. So that makes it really nice. So like we're going to be able to look up things like party information, and we're going to be able to look up uh, like the names of the party members, like all kinds of fun stuff like that we'll be able to see once we get going. And I had this working before, but like I said, we're going to refactor this out and get it a little cleaner this time, hopefully, and a little more understandable as we keep going forward. So the first thing I want to do now is I want to get back to what I had before, which was I had the ability to um, take input from the user, and instead of, like right now, if I click on the emulator and I press down on my keyboard, I move down. But that's not the point. I don't want to be able to move by me hitting the keyboard. I need to be able to programmatically move my little guy around and be able to hand a function to the LLM that says, hey, you can move. So what we do to test that is we just create a function and we make it so I give input, and depending on the input I give, it moves him in that direction. So let's get in here and let's figure out how to do that this morning. This is all, I did not write this part of the code. Again, this is from that. There was a Lua socket server Python. Some guy wrote this a few years ago in obscurity and nobody really picked up on it, and I was able to run across it because it fit my needs and I really appreciate it. So, all right, here we go. So we've got, here's my fetch coordinates function that I made. First thing we're going to do is just make a function that takes in input from the user and prints it to the screen. So let's just be lazy. Function that takes input from user for movement, for game instructions. Let's stop. I'm going to confuse it. Function named game. Let's just name the function game instructions. And then takes input, takes one of these inputs from the user, and we're going to do A, B, S for start, and we'll make Z for select for now. I don't know. We'll end up changing it. It'll end up not working right. And then up, down, left, right. Okay, so those are going to be the button presses that you can do. Now you still have to like press enter to do them, but up, down, left, right, up. Oh no, you don't want up, down, left, right. That's dumb, Josh. Let's do this over. I'm not thinking. Let's do W A S D. That makes more sense. And then K, or we'll do J and K, and we'll just have to say like, yeah. Okay, we'll start with that and print the input to the screen. That will just get us the function right here. So that should get us the function we want. I love Copilot. Game instructions, user input, enter your input. Okay. Yeah, accept, that's fine. And then, no. So then we're also going to put print, use WASD for direction. J for the, oh, look at that. J for the A button and K for the B button. Look at that. Oh, we didn't put start and select in though. We need start and select in this game frequently. So we need J and K. Let's do, I guess U and I. U and I guess. U and I. And then we'll put U for start and I for select. Oh my gosh, I love Copilot. I love it. Okay, so there we go. So now we're gonna just put this in the loop. So game instructions. So now let's comment out fetch coordinates because we don't want that happening every little bit. That's annoying. And we actually can get rid of the sleep now because now we don't need to sleep because actually we can even leave the fetch coordinates in. Because now, yeah, it'll stop and wait for our why is it game instructions is not defined? Oh, I don't know why it indented it like that. Okay, we're good. Okay, so we should be able to try this out now. So when we do this, I have to start the socket server first. So we start the socket server. It's waiting on the emulator. Let's get the emulator where we can see it. There are things we can do later to kind of streamline this a little bit. And I can actually make this window just a little smaller. We can just hide it down here. There we go. And then I have to hit restart. Oh, what the frick? What happened here? User input enter. Input takes no arguments. I don't have time for that. Copy. That's not what I wanted. Copilot. What if I just put fix this in? Let's see what it does. Whoa, what did it? No, that's not what I wanted. I don't know why it said that. User input. Oh, print input user input. User input equals input. What did it say the error was again? User input. Input takes no arguments. Oh, what in the world did it do wrong there? All right, we're gonna go to ChatGPT on this one because I don't know. I don't know why, unless it'll let me open a chat. Hold on. Let's see what it just says if I just give it that error. Let's accept it. I don't know what it actually changed though. What did it do? It got rid of my Control Z. If that's the problem. Oh, I think your input class shadows the input function. Oh. Oh, it's not my input class. That's dumb. Why did he name that input? And I did this before. I had input before and it didn't work. You know why? Because I think I moved this class to a different spot. I don't know where he's using this at. Where is he using this? Control F. Let's see if we can. Thanks for pointing that out, by the way. It would have taken me another little hot sec to figure out that was the problem. So there's my two inputs. Oh, wait a minute. Why isn't the other input showing up in my search? Class input dot read syscall input dot read. Is it only being called like here and here? Could I literally just like name it something different in these two spots and that's it, it's done? Surely he's calling it somewhere else. And why am I only getting it? Oh, there we go. Because I put a space on it like a moron. Okay, so it's there, it's there, it's there, there. 5 of them are me, and 2 of them are him. So what if we just name this? This is going to be really stupid. Inputty. Inputty. Is that stupid? I just named it inputty. Because you are looking for, yeah, there's no space at the end. I know, I'm a moron. I can't believe I did that. I just like on autopilot put a space on the end of it, like a goofball. What a dummy. Okay, so let's try this now. Python 3 waiting for emulator. Where did my little guy go here? Restart. There we go. That worked. Maybe it worked. We don't know for sure yet. Okay, so now all I want to know is if I put in a W, will it print it back? Yes, input W. Yep, input, A. Now it doesn't like check for those things. I'm gonna need to put a little check in real fast just to say like, hey, don't if it should only be one of those things. So, oops, I gotta use my keyboard shortcut. Check to make sure these are the only inputs permitted. Okay. There we go. Accept. That's easy enough. Just made a little, what it make? It's not, is that a dictionary? It's not a dictionary because they don't have keys and values, but it has the curly brackets. Is it a set or something like that? Anyway, it works. So we have that. So we've got allowed inputs. Now let's try it again, and we'll just try to. So break that, start that. I'm gonna have to find a little faster way to iterate here. Restart. Let's put in B. B, invalid input. W, good. Okay, so that works. One last thing I want to do, just because I'm stupid, is because I want like This is dumb, but I just want like a little break because my eye hates seeing that text, just like straight text. Yeah, there it was. Yeah, that's all I want right there. Oh, what I do. I don't want this on the end. There we go. Okay, so that's good. Okay, so the next thing, yeah, I think it is a set. Yeah, I think that's a set. It just looks weird to me to see curly brackets, but it's not like a key value dictionary. So I guess Python is smart enough that when it's just, single values in a row like this and you use the curly brackets, it's like, oh yeah, that's a set. I know what that is. I get it. I guess it's smart enough to do that for us. So we're going to test it one last time, and then we're going to do it for reals. We're going to actually add the movement capability in. Yeah, see, now we got a nice little line right there. And now every time we actually put in something, we get another little line so that it's broken. And yeah, I don't know about you, but I can't handle like just seeing tons of text without a little break in it with some kind of delineator. There's the fancy word for this morning, a little delineation. Okay, so now we have to go and find, there's a joypad. Here it is. See this joypad class. So we've already got a class written. And the joypad, oh man, it has joypad read down, read up. I'm going to have to go look at my other function here. Let's go, because I had this written again. Remember, I did this before. We're just trying to rewrite it. Where did I have it at? And I got way too ambitious. I made way too many classes, and I ended up just making it a giant mess instead of trying to be a little simple about it. So here's the server, here's the emulation controls. This is memory ops. I don't need that. Game state. Is it in here? Player attributes. Is this my, this is my data class I tried to make. See, this is why I had to start over, because I made this so overly complicated before. It's got to be in here somewhere. Hold on. Utils doesn't even have a thing. Routes doesn't. I never got the HTTP. I never got the API part going. That's player data. This is the data class. This is the game state. Oh, this is going to be some important stuff. Look, this is yeah. So I made a game state before. I got pretty far in this before, and I had in here like I made a object that kept track of the party XY all the time. It had the party names and all the stuff. It like basically when the game started up, like checked all those memory locations and grabbed all that data right off the bat, and then you had a real nice data set. Man, this is a long. I didn't realize how big this thing was. I didn't realize how far I'd even gotten on it before. I was even pickling this data so that in between, like when I did iterations, it would like not, I wouldn't lose it all. I wouldn't have to like rewrite a bunch of it every time. This is like the text data. Like these are the icons for these letters. This is so you can read letters off the screen because the letters have icons. This is some of the, we'll do this too. This is some of the, oh, I did like colors to like make a map to be able to like show, like we'll get that far eventually again, but I was able to make a map of the screen in text. So basically what I was able to do was I was able to rip the screenshot and then reduce it down to text. And my first idea is if we can make every one of these icons represented by a piece of text, like a single character, then we could pass that 2D array. We could pass the 2D array to the LLM and say this is a map. And I did it, and it worked. I literally could pass a Pythonic 2D array or 2D list to ChatGPT-4 and say this 2D array is a map. Tell me what you see using this legend. And then I had to give it a legend for the map too. And then it could be like, oh, I see a castle and there are towns and there's the walls and there's the stuff. And it was able to move around. And so we may eventually go back to that kind of mapping again, because my idea was, if we can create a system that every time we move, we know the coordinates. The coordinates are the coordinates given to you by the game, so they won't get offset, is what I'm saying. The coordinates should stay correct all the time because we're grabbing them from memory. So theoretically, as he moves around the board, he should be able to start building a giant 2D map of the whole place, at least what he explores, and he will know everywhere he's explored. And then theoretically, ChatGPT should be able to look at that map and look at like subsets, I guess we would say, of the map, and then be able to determine where they are and figure out how to get from point A to point B. So ambitious, I know, but we'll see. But then see, then I got all like too big dream thing, because then the multimodal stuff started coming out, and I'm like, oh well, screw that. I'll just give it screenshots directly and let it figure out what it needs to do. And then I figured out that the screenshots are not, when you give the screenshots to the multimodal, it's not quite as good as you would think it would be, and it's not able to get accurate enough information from that to be able to really make decisions, if that makes sense. So anyway, we're gonna have to keep figuring that out. But I think we can get this back to where, I think our first goal is just going to be getting back to, hey, let's get to where it can move him on the screen. Let's get to where it knows the coordinates. Let's start reducing these screenshots back into divided up icons. And I don't even want to tell it. I don't even want to tell it what the icons are. I did that before too. I was like trying to map out, like, this is a tree and this is a wall. I don't even care. I'm not going to tell it that anymore. I'm like, you figure it out. If you bump into this wall, then who cares? You LLM need to go, oh, whatever this thing is here, I don't know what it is, but whatever it is, it's not passable. That's all you need to know. You just need to know that that is not passable on the map, and that you've got to go between these things, not not through them, not through the wall. So anyway, rant over. Any thoughts? Uh, Please feel free to put them in the chat. I do try to look every once in a while. Let's try to get some movement going. Okay, so let's get back over here. Let's keep going down, because this is one big class. So I'm really wondering if, I think this is the class I want. Oh yeah, this is going to be a gold mine of functions that I wrote before. So there's the current world map. Okay, here's update. That was a big one. Current party status, nice. Okay. We just want to move right now. Get background indices. Oh man, this was so hard. We're gonna be leaning hard on this stuff. This was where I was getting the background image and doing all the crazy transformation stuff to get it working. Oh, and by the way, XY coordinates, it doesn't, it obviously is a game, so it doesn't do XY like you would do XY in math. It does XY like the top left hand corner, I believe, is 0, 0, and then of course everything as you go from left to right to the bottom right hand corner is your highest XY coordinate. So it's that flipped uh, game XY coordinates when you're like game programming a lot. Come on, is movement not in here? All right, I know how to. I think I know how to do this. Oh, good. We've got these though. These would be nice. Get party hit points. We can get our party names and stuff. We could go ahead and grab some of that stuff. Get the names of our characters and things. Where's our get party name at? Get party names. Let's see if we can just transfer this whole function over. I'm using .memory here to do it, and I think I can do that. So let's copy this. And I bet we can just put this one in without a problem. Let's go back up here to our functions. I am going to have to break out some of these at some point, though. This file has just gotten huge already. And that's why I did it the first time, because the original author made all these classes inside here, and I was like, what is happening? Well, then I tried to break all the classes out, and I guess I didn't do it right because I was having so many issues trying to get Python to like see all the different classes I created and like all the weirdness of like, where's that class at? I can't find it. So anyway, here we go. Party name locations. There's the memory locations for the names. Here are the party name locations. All right, and I'm putting them in, it looks like I'm putting them into a, looks like I'm just sticking them in a list. So for now, we could just print the list. Let's just print the list and just see what happens. So we're going to do get party names. We're going to do print get party names. We're going to be like Python 101 dumb. And we're going to do print, whoops, get party names. Okay, and let's just see if we can literally lift that right over and it works fine. Nothing ever works like that though, right? Like you're like, oh, just move this thing over, it'll work fine. It never works like that. Yeah. Oh, self. Yeah, because I had it in a class last time and I don't have it in a class anymore. So I think I can just take the self out though, because I'm not using anything like, I'll have to take out this self. What's this? Self.text table. Oh, I will need the text table. Okay, so I do have to bring the text table over. So let's grab that real quick. That makes sense. The text table is how we're able to, remember, how we're able to even read letters from the memory. Here we go. So I will just copy it like that. Copy. And we will just stick it at the top as like a little data point, a variable at the top of the, it's a const here, kind of basically. Okay, and we can just, I want to kick this guy back just a hair. He doesn't need to be all the way out in no man's land. Okay. Is that going to work? Nice, nice. All right, let's see if we can get the party names. Reset. Oh yeah, look at that. We got the party names now. So it literally read the party names from the memory. Let's try. I don't remember what button gets us. Oh, these. I'm still trying to hit the. I'm trying to use our input keys, and that's not going to work because we haven't linked them yet. But anyway, when we do open the menu over here eventually, here we go. You will see that the players really are named Lou, Vega, Xavier, and Q. Isn't that sweet? It just read those straight out of the memory from the emulator. This is what is so fun about this. If we can just keep building on this slowly but surely, we will get to a point where we can hand this information to the LLM and then hopefully have it be able to make decisions and put these inputs in itself and start bumbling around inside here, because that would be so much fun. Okay, so let's get out of here. I think, is it K? No. Uh-oh. I don't remember my keys again. Where's my file? Options, joypad config. What did I make it yesterday? B is D. B is D. There we go. Now we're back on the map. Okay, so let's break out of here again. Let's go to our VS Code. Okay, now we're back to movement again. I think I know how we're going to find the movement. Let's go to the old Python server, and which is socket server. Server.py. Good. It has a different name too, so I won't get like utterly confused. I think the movement may actually, yeah, look, it's in here. This is my old code for this. Okay, game controller started. Press Q, press J to move left. Okay, I used different buttons before. No, I used almost the same button. I even used U and I. Wow, I can't believe I used all that same stuff. Okay. And then how am I actually doing it though? All this does is print stuff, right? Oh, if key in this, send keypad press key. Oh, okay. Keypad send key press. Is that all it is? If key equals Q. Oh yeah, and I made a quit. So let's do that too. I don't know if I need all of this, but let's copy this and let's try to move it over. Okay. So here we go. We're gonna find our. I'm trying to think if I should. The reason I'm hesitating is I'm trying to think if I should. No, I had the input and this in the same. Okay, we have to write separate functions later for that the actual LLM will use to move. These are for us to kind of move around right now and just make sure we know how to do it. We will eventually write something for it to be able to know how to move. So back here, let's go. Here's the game instructions. We don't need to print. Oh, input user input. We don't need to do that anymore. We just need. No, we need to. First of all, we need to do this. Then we don't need this in a. This doesn't need to be a while loop. I didn't even realize it had done that to us. Okay, so now let's see just how bad this is now. We don't need a break now. Oh, if user input in allowed inputs. Okay, then we need to do, then we need these. This is a mess. We'll get it figured out though. What did I do here? We're going to change this to key just so it matches everything else we have. Because that's the problem now. Key, okay. So if key in input, key equals input or enter your input. If key equals allowed inputs, if key equals, oh, self.stop callback thread, self.close connection, and we don't have sys. Sys is, we're not going to be able to, I don't know where that, is that not in here somewhere? And the close connection and sys. Okay, so sys is easy. Just fix that. It's just import system. Ooh, yuck. I didn't realize he had it this way either. Yuck. Oh my gosh, that was ugly. I mean, theoretically just fine, but ugh, I can't do that. Okay. Um, that feels like one of those weird, like you could do that in Python 2 and they let you do it in Python 3, but like don't do it kind of thing. Okay, so there's that. Let's find where these, like, oh, there's callback thread right there. Callback thread. Is that what it was? Stop callback thread. Okay, where's that at? Let's search for it. Is it in a class? Oh, oh, we don't need this. I need to get rid of this. I've got it like doubled up. And I'm most likely not going to need this either. I don't need this now. Wonder where did that come from? Stop callback thread. Define stop callback thread. Self dot callback thread, self dot join. Where did I get that from? We can add it. Maybe it's something I must have figured it out before that I needed it. I don't want it down here. I want it with this stuff because this is like all the callback thread stuff. I don't need self. Okay. Close connection. Why does that work there but not here? Self.close connection. Where's this at? Uh-huh. So I think, yeah, this was my attempt. I remember now. This was my attempt to, and I think I already solved it with something different, but we'll go ahead and add this into. When I first did this, the socket connection would not close cleanly, and I would have to wait, no joke, like 30 seconds before I could run the script again. And oh my gosh, it drove me insane because I couldn't iterate fast. I would like run it, kill it, and then it would be like, nah, I can't do that. I can't connect again right now. And oh my gosh, it was terrible. So I had to experiment with a lot of different ways to figure out how to get that socket to close nicely when I wanted it to, so I could reopen it quickly and just keep iterating. So, all right, we're gonna get rid of this. Okay, that's good. All right. Okay, so let's try it. Let's see if we're good. I don't see any errors. So let's try this. And let's close this. Let's restart. Okay. And now if we do joypad has no attribute send key press. Okay. So we got to figure out where that's at in the old code too. We were looking at game data. All right, let's see here. Send. Oh. Oh, send underscore key press. Joypad send key press. Is that not a thing? Score key press. It's supposed to be in Joypad. Yeah, there's no send key press here. That must be something that I added to Joypad over here. Memory ops. Is it part of this one? Send key press. Yeah, here it is. I wrote it. I must have copy. I had a API send key press too. Huh. default gamepad state. Okay, let's try this. Copy. I've got to add this to my joypad class over here. Move my class method over. There we go. Okay, so now maybe it'll work now. Define a key map. Send key press to emulator. This doesn't seem complete. It seems like you're going to get the key and then it needs to update if the key is, if it's one of these, then it needs to be true and everything else needs to be false. Why does that not seem right? Huh. Key map. All right, we're gonna try it. I don't understand what that does exactly. Restart. Okay, we're up, and we want S. Yeah, it's still not working. Let's go look at it again. Okay, so send back to the top. Right here. Okay. If key end, send key press. Maybe I'm just missing something here. That was in game state. No, it was in the server, the Python server over here. Python server, socket server. Okay. Here we go. Input key, joypad send key press key, else print game controller. It doesn't return anything, so it should just work, but it is definitely not working. Send key press key. Okay, so let's go back. We're going to have to actually use our brains and figure out why this doesn't work. All right, so send key press key. Okay, and then we said that was down here. Okay, so, and then it feels like we need to, have the joypad.write in there somewhere. Joypad.write. Define a mapping of the keys. Dang, gotta remember how I did this before. Define a mapping of the keys to the keypad buttons. I remember that. You have to send the state. I do remember that. You have to send the state of every single one of these keys when you send it in. It's not like you don't just send one. You send the state of the whole joypad. And that's why I was saying, like, these all need to be flipped. So the only one that should be true is the one that we just got. So that's why I'm trying to remember how I did that. Let's go back. Let's look down the logic again and see how it. Okay, so it was supposed to do the fetch coordinates, and then it was supposed to do game controller while true. So it did game controller. All right, so game controller up here doesn't return anything. It just takes in the input. Yep. And then it prints it. And then it just is keypad press. Press key. Key press key. Okay. Send key press. I feel like we're totally missing something here, like something very important. Memory ops. Send key press. Yeah, this one seems much. This seems much more like what we want right here. We're gonna try this. We're gonna move this one over. This one looks like it's doing what we want it to do. We'll try this send API key press, because that's gonna just straight up write it. Callback, write one state. Because it's gonna have the default state. Oh, but I do need this though instead. So I guess we're gonna take the guts down here, and we're gonna move them up. I wonder if that's what happened. I wonder if when I wrote this new function, because I definitely wrote this API function second, and I wonder if somehow I like cannibalized or gutted this one to where it never finished. Right? Like I accidentally like copy and pasted it down here to this other one, and like in effect broke this one and never came back or never used it again. I could see me doing something dumb like that. All right, so let's do that. It seems to be happy. Gonna restart, and we're gonna hit S for down. Oh, we did it. Oh, we did it. It is working. Yes. We are in business. We have. All right, that was a little agonizing, I admit, but I'm happy now. Now we've got things moving, and we are able to have our input. All right, so our next thing I want to do is I want to add the hit points in. I'm trying to decide if we should start a new player data class, a new data object that we pull in over here. We need a. Let's talk to ChatGPT about this. Okay, let's open it up, and let's see if we can get some advice from ChatGPT. Okay, ChatGPT. Let's do a new chat. Good morning, Trixie. I named her Trixie. Got to send a text here too. All right. So here we go. Good morning, Trixie. So I am I have created a Python socket program that interacts directly with the memory of an NES emulator. I need an efficient, spelled efficient right, wrong. I need an efficient way to store and update the data I collect from the memory and make it available to a separate Python script. We'll just put it like that. What are some possible methods for this? Database, data object, etc. Let's see what she says. I do have desktop audio on here. Let's let her. Oh, she can't talk to us on here. Do I not have the? Does she not work on Linux? I am on ChatGPT. Here we go. Let's see if we can get Mia to talk to us this morning. Oh. It's not working. I wanted her to talk to us this morning and tell us the how to do it. I have a different way of doing it, but I don't know if it'll work. All right, so let's just read and see what she says. So we asked her. We have a Python socket program that interacts directly with the memory of the NES emulator. I need an efficient way to store and update the data I collect from the memory and make it available to a separate Python script. What are some possible methods? In-memory database like a Redis, that's an interesting idea. Using something like Redis can be really quick for this. It stores data in memory, which is perfect for fast reading and writing operations. Plus, it can handle different data types like strings, hashes, lists, etc. SQLite. If you prefer a file-based approach, SQLite is a lightweight disk-based database, doesn't require a separate server, blah, blah, blah. I know what that is. Data serialization. You could just use straight up JSON and Pickle, which is kind of what I was doing before. I was just doing like JSON and Pickle to do it. Message queuing. Ugh, message queuing sounds terrible. That's not what we're doing here. Shared memory. Since you're working with Python multiprocessing modules, shared memory capabilities. We're not getting that like in depth. You could use shared data objects like a dictionary managed by a manager from the multiprocessing module. This way the data is stored in a server process and other processes can read write to these objects. Interesting. Network sockets. Since you're already using sockets, you could set up a server client architecture. I think I almost want to try this Redis thing because we're gonna have to use the LLM machine for all the sub stuff, and so it's gonna have to talk back and forth really fast, and we can use Reddit. The script, the Python scripts will most likely be on different servers. So the data will need to travel over the network. That feels like Redis would help with that. Spartacus decided he wanted to code this morning for a little while. So she's telling us that she thinks that Redis probably is a good choice. Let me look here. I just got to see how much time I got this morning. Okay, I'm doing good. So if your Python scripts are running on different servers, Redis is a fantastic choice. It's network optimized, fast data access, scalable data structures. Redis supports various data structures like strings, lists, sets, hashes, giving you flexibility, persistent options. While primarily in memory, Redis offers options to persist data on disk, ensuring you don't lose your data in case of a system restart or failure, which we kind of need. We don't want it to have to, I don't want it to have to reinvent the wheel every time it starts as far as like the game map. Wide language support, pub sub capabilities, so it can publish, subscribe. Okay. Here's an example of how you might set it up. Install Redis, ensure Redis is installed and running on a server accessible to your Python scripts. Python integration, use a Python Redis client like Redis Pi in your scripts. Store the data from your NES emulator in Redis using a suitable data structure. Your other scripts can then access this data in real time. Does this sound like a plan? Sounds like a plan, right? With Redis, you can get the efficient scalability you need for your project. Let's get this rolling. Okay. We may need some messaging, to be honest, for our subsystem of like um, how we let it grind. So, okay. So how would we? So let's see. If we're gonna do this, let's go to our Excalidraw again. Excalidraw. Switch to this tab. Okay, so in the, oh, I thought I already had Excalibur. Here it is. We need to name this scene, by the way. Untitled scene. LLM plays RPG. Okay. This is our kind of the idea for the scripts, but we also, I feel like, need to have, I'm going to scroll down here, we need to have also the servers involved. So we're going to have the FF VM and the Final Fantasy VM. If I can get this guy to move just a little. Spartacus, I know you're excited about this project, but you got to let me work here, buddy. This will have the emulator on it, and it will have the socket Python server. I don't know if it has anything else on it. That may be the only two things it really has on it, which is probably good. We probably want to try to limit what this guy is doing. And then we will need another server. This is actually good. I've never used Redis, so it's going to be a little bit of a learning curve. What are we going to name it? Naming is so hard. My project is LLM plays RPG. With that in mind, what should we name the Redis server? the cache realm. I would like more of a code name. For instance, the machine that is hosting the local LLMs is named Sage. There we go. Yeah, we could name it Oracle. That's a good name because it's funny also because it's a Redis server named Oracle, not an Oracle server. It's kind of a funny joke. So we're gonna have the Oracle because it knows everything. So Oracle is going to be the Redis server. Redis. Okay, and then we'll have the third server for now, which is Sage. And Sage is the local LLMs, Lava, any OCR / Open Computer Vision is coming from this guy because he's got the horsepower for that kind of stuff. Okay, and if we get I guess we should be able to serve, for instance, so Oracle might also have an API. We may just, it may be smart for us to just go with like a fast API kind of thing right off the bat, because I ended up doing that very quick last time, and maybe that's what we want to do right from the beginning here. And maybe, maybe if I do that earlier, that will help out, because then we're able to, everything's able to start talking to each other kind of over API calls, right? So in other words, so let me get rid of this actually. So then this is able to make an API call here. Whoops. This is able to make API calls back here. This guy's able to make API calls to the LLM. And how was I doing actually doing the stuff directly? I guess it's because I was running the API. I was running the API server over here. Because if I don't run the API server over here, I'm going to end up with some kind of weird messaging. Oh, you know what? Over here, I only have to have like a control API server. So I guess the Python server, there has to be a joypad. All I really need is a joypad API here. It doesn't have to be anything big, because remember, we're only going to let it do keyboard input, the actual like joypad input. That's all we're letting it do. We're not letting it like, it's not going to be allowed to cheat, is what I'm saying. So if this is the case, this is how we'll do this. And then this basically ends up being Redis. This ends up being the API. And when I say the API, I mean like this is probably going to end up being the brain. The actual like brains of the operation is going to happen from here. So from here, we're going to have to do that. Okay. Weird side note, eventually we're going to have to move this guy because I was looking at this and I am running I am running this particular machine here, the Final Fantasy, or no, this is Final Fantasy virtual machine that is running this emulator. I'm running this from an Ubuntu 22 on my uh, vSphere, and it's annoying because my vSphere doesn't let me. I can't transfer the sound. I can't pipe the sound through it, so we won't be able to hear the sound from the game, and that'll suck because we want to be able to hear the sound because you get like all the fun little sound effects and all the stuff, and if we don't have and the soundtrack music and everything, and if we don't have that, that'll be terrible. So eventually I'll have to move this over to another machine. I have a couple extra Macs laying around, so maybe I'll transfer it to a Mac, and then I'll just have to use one of those. We'll have to use one of the screen capture things for OBS to capture that screen and be able to pipe in the sound. I think I can pipe in the sound from it if I use that. So we'll figure it out. We'll figure out how we want to be able to pipe that in um, into OBS to be able to like Twitch this whole thing. All right, man, I've effectively ran off everybody this morning with my boring coding, but this is the project that I want to work on right now, so this is what we're going to work on. And we've got about another half hour, so let's dig in and let's see if we can think about how we want to do this. Let's go ahead and we're gonna go ahead and make this movement into an API. Not even sure how we're gonna do that yet, but we're gonna do it. So let's go here and let's close this because I think we can get out of we got to see. I feel like we can get out of this at some point pretty easy. Like where we don't have to make quite as many like this file will eventually stop growing is what I'm saying. We should be able to get to where we have the things we need in here and we're done. And this thing stops becoming the wild beast that it is, right? So we'll keep that text table in here for now. Okay, so let's just ask. Let's just ask Control F. Oh, no, Control I is what I want. Control I. How do we add fast API to this script? Okay. Quit Python 3 -m pip install fast API. Okay. Discard. How do we import and set up fast API? No. That's what we want right there, I think. except the fetch coordinates needs to be we need to return it in JSON, so it needs to be, yeah, like that. And the same thing with the party names. I think it needs to return party names as a JSON structure. So it needs to be return yeah, like that. I bet that'll work. Okay. What did I make the route for that? Party names and coordinates. Okay. Um, allow fast API to listen to all incoming connections. Copy, paste. Oh, why can't I paste that? Oh, there it is. What? What the frick? Whoa, what is it doing? Can I not have it? Discard. Let's ask ChatGPT something. Okay. Mm. So it's saying I got to make everything async though to do it. Arsham. So I need to got to make everything async. Okay. 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 Gonna be weird. We're gonna do it though. Stretching the stuff out. Okay, let's see. So I need this async and UVI corn. I never know how to say that one. Uvicorn? I don't know. Is this not installed? Could not be resolved? Python 3. Oh, let's just ask GS pip install UVI corn. Oh, gotta do that. Okay, that's fine. It's gonna put it in. Okay, and then it's saying that I need to take my socket crap, which was where? Right here. And then I need to make it async. It says that's fine. Async. Wait for connection. Okay. And then it says I need to make my. Says I need to make my these guys async. Oh my gosh. Let's see if that works. That seems insane. And then it says I need to start my wait for connection and then start my copy. Okay, I should be able to start it first. Yeah. And they're async, so they should work. Oh man, getting crazy up in here. Getting crazy. Oh, it didn't work. Why does it say it can't find Unicorn? Okay, it says it's there. I didn't have async though. Okay, now what? Oh, why does it think it doesn't have Unicorn? That is annoying. Copy. Why do you think you don't have Unicorn? Oh, where'd my, oh, it's over here. My bad. My bad. Unicorn, paste. Oh man, she's going slow. I did install it. Well, I don't want it sudo, then it would be, oh, you know what? I wonder if I do have to do it sudo because I'm running the other stuff as sudo. So I think I have to do that. Oh yeah, that's what it is. Okay. All right. Sweet. Okay. Now the question is, did it really go async though, and am I going to be able to connect my Lua server to it? Lua scripts. I don't know why I'm not getting my restart. Oh, damn it. Why did that not work? Do I have to do it the other way around? Maybe. I feel like this guy is hogging everything. I feel like I got to do that. Just kill it. Waiting for connection was never awaited. So maybe I can't run that as an async. All right, it says it's there. It says that this is being served on 8,000. Let's try it on here, first of all. So let's do 127.0.0.1. Can't reach site. Party names. Damn it. Did it try? We can go over here and see if it tried. It did not. Didn't even try. Oh, it's port 8,000. What a goober. Burp, but a burp, burp. Port 8,000. Oh yeah. Oh yeah, we got some fast API going, boys and girls. This is what we want right here. The fast API. All right. This is where I feel like I'm already doing better than last time when I did this, because it took me forever to like realize, oh yeah, I should do this as a fast API thing and do it this way so I can actually like access these kind of things over API. Because now, detail not found. Is that not what it was called? Was it not called coordinates? Coordinates. Copy. I wonder if it's the way I'm trying to feed it back in. I wonder if it has to be like real JSON. No, it came through. I got it. I just didn't spell it right or something. Okay. Well, excellent. So we've got some APIs that we can hit now, and that's awesome. So now we can really start building out being able to hit the memory to get information we need, and we should be able to. We're going to just have to build out a bunch of these little endpoints, like hit this, hit this, hit this, hit this, and then we'll be able to get um, a lot of information. Like for instance, we need to get hit points, right? So let's try to get one more done here then. Party HP get party HP return fetch. We're going to keep using get party names, return get party names. I like fetch party names. Where's the party names at down here? We're going to change this to fetch. That's going to make sense, because if we do fetch, get and fetch, that'll be the difference between get and fetch. So this will be fetch party names. Now we have to create a one down here called, we got fetch party names. Now we're going to define fetch party HP, and we're going to go to, that's coordinates. That's so stupid. All right, so let's go over to the, I think it was in this game state. We should have an HP or HP in here. Control F, HP, get party HP. Okay. We're going to have to modify this a little bit, but that's fine. That's still like amazing. All right, so we're going to come over here, and we're just gonna, let's just paste the whole thing, and then we'll get rid of the first line. we're gonna go back, and we're going to, we don't need, this is just the information we need about it. We don't need this. We don't need any of that. Oh, it's doing it in party HP. Okay. Party HP.append HP, and then we're going to return party HP is party HP. Okay. Okay. Nice. That looks like it works. Fetch. Oh, oh, it's supposed to be fetch party HP. Where's it at? Oh, why did it name it that? There we go. Fetch party HP. Okay, so we're getting the party HP. We're going to have to store some of this eventually. We're not going to worry about it right this second. Right now, we're just going to fetch it. And you know what? Maybe we don't. We don't need to do that. We're going to remember all this should be is this should just be we're just going to fetch the crap, right? And get it. We got an endpoint where we can get it. We shouldn't do anything with it. We should just fetch it. It's just the current iteration of it. And then when we let's go back to our Excalidraw here. Okay, so what we need to do is we just need to be able to have this over here. We'll have the emulator over here. We got the Python server over here. All it's doing is getting direct information from the emulator memory and then sending key presses. That's all this thing should do. Over here should be our Redis, and over here should be the brain that is collecting the data from over here and making decisions. We got to make this the brain, and we got to make this just the facts, ma'am. And again, that was my problem when I wrote this the first time when I was working on it. I did not separate these duties properly. And now here for 2.0, we're going to try to do it correctly. So let's restart it one more time here, and let's see if my last this last addition worked fine. So let's kill this. Let's kill this. Oh man, I think there we go. So we start that. We restart the server. Fast server comes up. I can get rid of this. Okay, so now we pull back up our Chrome and we go to just here. Coordinates works. Let's move him. Okay, let's go back. Our coordinates are 145, 156. Let's refresh. 145, 155, so that's working. Okay, let's do party names or party names. And we get the names Lou, Vega, Xavier, Q, which we already figured out as the right names. Let's check out party HP. And we have party HP 35, 35, 28, 25. Let's just verify in here. We're going to hit start. And we have 35, 35, 28, 25. Awesome. So we're moving along. We've made great progress today. And now we are getting a system in place to be able to gather the data we need. I want to get a little more data about our people. I want to get their hit points. I want to get their magic points. I want to get it'd be nice to be able to grab their gold. It's not essential right now. But we need to be able to get that stuff and the coordinates. And then once we get the was it B or D? There we go. Once we get the coordinates, the hit points, the magic points, and where we're at, we can immediately at that point, we've got enough information. And at that point, we can start working on a mapping tool, and we can start telling it, hey, we can start setting up our LLM and say, hey, you're playing Final Fantasy, and right now your whole job is just to map the area. And if you get in battle, you win the battle. And when your hit points are low or below a certain threshold, you go back to town and you sleep at the inn and you grind and you go. We could even give it like a range, like only explore within like 50 XY in any direction, positive, negative 50 in any direction. And then just tell it that's your range. Go out, explore everything, figure out what you can. When your hit point, well, win the battles. It's easy at this level. I mean, basically, it literally just has to hit fight, 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 and it'll win every battle. And then if the hit points get low or below 50, we probably just say below 50% because we don't care. We're not the ones grinding. It is. Your hit points get below 50% on any character, head back to town, go to the inn, go back out and do it again, and literally just let this guy grind and map, and see if that can be the first iteration. That feels like an achievable goal for the first iteration of this. And then if we can get that working smoothly, then we can start moving into things like, hey, how do we get it to talk to NPCs? How do we get it to record the messages it got from NPCs? How do we get it to have a quest like you know, subsystem? So it's like, oh, I know what my next quest is. I know what I should be doing. So it's going to have to be baby steps. We're going to learn so much along the way. So we're gonna get this thing going here. Oh, and I have Redis and I have API, but eventually we're gonna need a vector DB too. And depending on how much juice the vector DB needs, I may have to put that in another server, which is fine because I've got a ton of compute here at home. I got a whole rack in the other room, so we'll be fine building that out. But we very well may need to also put in a vector DB to be able to store embeddings of different things that we're learning, to be able to hand those to the LLM as well. Hey, whoever hopped on here with me at the end, thanks for hopping on. This is not the most exciting thing right now at this early point, but it's going to get more exciting. I had this in a previous iteration back in October. I got it all the way to where it was really like, it was kind of getting visualization, and I was using AutoGen to have it have conversations, but it would easily get confused. And I was using GPT-4 for all the conversation, which gets expensive really fast. And the multimodal stuff had first come out and it wasn't quite working. And so I kind of had to move on to other things. But now, because everything is moving so fast right now, within 3 or 4 months, I knew it was time to revisit this whole project. I think it'll be a really fun project. I think once I can get it automated and just literally let it run on Twitch and just let people watch it run, I think people will get a kick out of watching the AI try to learn, and then get people's ideas of how to do that. So, all right, well, I'm going to sign off here. I got to get going with the rest of my day. Thanks for watching, and we will keep pushing this ambitious little project forward, hopefully tomorrow.